I start, and this is
right.
reflection. There's two ways that I understand how to do this. You can either reflect on the relationship with the person that you've had since it started. So since clearly we've been friends for a long time, we reflect on all of it. Or you specifically reflect on how this game has transpired, what you've learned during the process of this game, because it is supposed to be played with strangers.
Okay, so yeah, I guess we can take it case by case.
Yeah, especially when you have cards like mine, which state when in this game.
Okay, yeah.
Did you feel most connected to me? In the last hour and 15 minutes, what moment were you like, yep, that's why we're friends? Because I tried to kick you out of that dark room and you're still there.
It's got to be that, right? I mean, it's got to be the fact that, I specifically stated that everyone else is gone, but that motherfucker keeps his lights on. It doesn't leave.
I cut off the electricity to this building. How is the light on? It's a good question. I don't know. All right, well, that was an easy one.
That was a nice quick one. Let's move on to the next reflection. Oh, this is fun. This is neat. If we were in a band, what would our name be?
A band?
Yeah.
A band of two?
Yeah. We are we are Garfinkel and Oates. I think that's the name of the band. I don't really
I was immediately going to the Blues Brothers.
That's better.
Why? Because that's their actual name.
Yeah.
The question was just, what would our name be?
What would our band name be?
It would change every week. No one would ever, there would be no way we would have such a demand for our followers to keep up with us, because they would have to keep up with each name change and each reincarnation of the name as it grows.
So assuming our music is fucking top tier, which it's not, I have no musical talent. My sense of rhythm is awful. We're gonna have at most like 5 followers.
Yeah, or we're gonna get those followers who follow us just because they think we're good memeing band.
Yeah.
That would be the other thing. Every time the name of the band switched, I have no doubt I'd pick up a new instrument. I'd learn 3 strings on it and move on, or 3 chords.
Just play those.
Yeah, and I don't have a specific name that I think I could gravitate.
So do we have
towards.
A theme in our ever changing, or is it?
I think the ever changing is the theme. I think that what would be our pull as a band would be if you bought tickets to our concert, if you bought tickets to come see us, you wouldn't know what songs we're gonna play. You don't know what instruments we're bringing. You don't know what you're getting out of it. It could be your least favorite songs. It could be your favorite songs.
Do they know the name of the band? Or are we announcing the name of the band when they get to the concert?
Oh, that's a good point. We would have, when they get there on the main stage, there would be a banner up top, and it would be the however many names of the different bands that we're going through for those songs. So we would pick the set of songs.
We're a cover band?
No, not necessarily cover, but because every iteration comes with different instruments.
Oh, okay.
We would make new songs for each.
So we're our own cover band almost.
Yeah,
Okay.
and when you get to the concert, you would read the names of the bands, and underneath them we'd have emblems of what instrument we're playing in that band.
Okay.
So
interesting.
Band name A, band name B, and band name C would still all be us across the board, with just different instruments and different songs titled to each band.
Yeah, this is gonna take off in the indie music scene. I guarantee it.
There's gonna be people who are like, I have no idea what they're playing, but it's gonna be good or bad.
Or
probably bad.
But they're gonna love either one equally.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I think we're set. If we continue to talk like this, we're gonna let our audience decide our band names sometimes. They'll just come up with new generated ones.
Yeah.
And we're not gonna let them decide the genre though. They're gonna give us the name, and then we're gonna be like, that sounds like a heavy metal band that plays harmonicas.
Okay, yeah. I'm into it. Let's do it. When do we start?
Never.
Okay, good. Like I said, no sense of rhythm.
What do you admire most about me? My questions are very narcissistic. Tell me when you connected to me. What do you admire about me?
What do I admire about you?
I guess this would be one of those reflect in the 15 years, not in this game.
Yeah, I think it has to be given the context. I think it's got to be your determination, which I don't even necessarily think is extreme. I don't think you have a determination unseen by humanity before. But relatively speaking, to my not only like my personal determination, but the people I see around me, like you are the one that will most likely, if me and 5 other people I know say we're gonna do this thing, it's a pretty good chance we won't do that thing. If me and 5 other people I know and you're one of them say that we're gonna do this thing, it's a pretty strong odds, 80% plus at least, that you're gonna do that thing. And that, especially in this day and age of so many, easy things to do, so many distractions, so many things, the fact that you can actually go out and do something that you said you were gonna do, it's pretty good.
Yeah, the difficult part there is getting me to say I'm gonna do it.
You keep that part to yourself so no one knows all of the things that you haven't done.
Yeah. Just don't say it out loud and I don't have to uphold it.
All right, on to the next one.
I wonder how much the squeaking chairs.
Yeah, I've thought of that. Okay, on to the next one. Based on what you learned about me, so we'll specifically do this game. Mm-hmm.
Maybe not.
This is going to be tricky for you. This kind of goes back to the relationship one.
Oh, cool.
Does my social media accurately reflect who I am? Why or why not?
Your social media.
So, just to fill in his bit of confusion there, I don't snap the chats. I don't Insta the gram. I don't face the book. I did my the space, back when that was hip and happening.
Eat the twee? Is that how you would separate that one? Eat the twee? Or no, it's Twitter.
The
twit.
See, I mean, I the twit, but I only read other people's twits. I never twit myself.
Oh, those Twitters.
So yeah, he doesn't really have a social media to reflect on. So what we'll do, we'll keep this question. Mm-hmm. Out of what you know of the...
Do I get to create your social media?
Okay, you can also do that because that might be more fun.
Okay, all right.
But we'll start with mine. Out of what you know, out of the content creators that I follow amongst YouTube, Twitch, wherever else, do you think that they are a reflection of who I am?
Ooh, that's an interesting one. You definitely tend to follow a lot of logical creators who enjoy deeply explaining what they're doing. And then you also follow some overly sarcastic streamers.
Yeah.
I don't think that they define you as a internal person, but I do think they define the personalities that you embody when you are social.
That makes sense. Yeah.
You by yourself, definitely not. But when you are out in public, I could easily copy paste those streamers or content creators and put them on certain scenarios.
Sure.
Sure.
Makes sense. Okay.
Now, if I was to create your social media with the knowledge that I have of you, let's start with Chat and the Snap. You would definitely... Your stories would consist of video of the day. What video today on the internet did I watch that I think other people should watch?
Okay, yeah.
You'd essentially be sponsoring other content creators. And that would pretty much be the only thing you do on there. I think Gram and Instas would be pretty similar to that. Although you would take that would be your story feed for your Insta. I think that your profile itself would consist much more of a broad span of things that you've done in video games or things that you've seen people do in video games that you think are really interesting or exciting.
Okay. Yeah, a little showcase.
Yeah, just taking snippets of what thrills you. I don't think it would be about you. I don't think you'd have selfies or anything like that. But again, the things you've observed. Book in the face is.
I should clarify. I did have a Facebook. I was there for the transition of MySpace to Facebook, and I made that transition for about 2 months and then left.
I think your Facebook would be what most younger Facebookers are at this point, which is I get on this to show my family something and then I leave. So those would be the about yous. It'd be 3-month updates. Hey, I'm alive.
All right. I'm working on this thing. I'm doing this thing. This is where my career is at. Sort of stuff.
Your Twitter, if you actively used it to actually tweet instead of reading other people's, I think your Twitter could actually be pretty entertaining because I don't think you would do what you've been doing on your Snapchat or your Instagram. I think instead of just saying this is what I really enjoy, I think you could tweet out a point that someone else might not have understood from something you watched.
Okay, interesting.
You essentially inform people on something they might have missed or what you thought was really entertaining or how it connects to this other game, things like that. Making connections that they're there, but might be a little looser.
Yeah, I think you might have sold social media for me. I think,
yeah?
I think, yeah, after this, I'll be putting together my grams and my chats and my ers.
And then in about 3 days, you're going to have a lower self-esteem and you're just going to quit.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, that's what I hear.
That's that. I could, one day we're gonna have to have an entire session where you bounce off my ranting on social medias and how people treat it. That'll be great. That is not today though.
All right, penultimate question, level 3 reflection coming from you. Here we go.
I'm telling you, all these are narcissistic. Based on what you know about me, do you have any Netflix recommendations?
So May 20th, the 3rd season of Love, Death, Robot.
We've already planned to watch it. That's not fair.
But just the other night we watched Love, Death, Robot season 2. We have talked extensively about Love, Death, Robot season 1.
Yeah, we've combined or we've compared the 2 seasons, talked about all of it and whatnot. So I'm gonna request a different recommendation.
Problem is I don't exactly Netflix all that much. Okay, so I haven't watched it, but I've heard very good things. I don't know if you've heard of it. There's a show called Queen's Gambit.
Yeah, the chess one.
Yeah,
I've watched it.
You've watched it? How'd you like that one?
It was actually pretty good. I was surprised because when I first started watching it, I was expecting it to be kind of a boring, slow drama.
I mean, yeah, okay, it's about chess. That's a fair guess.
But I think the most boring part of the show was the chess part of it. Near the end, it was nice to see her, defy the odds. It was nice to see her go to the chess club, which is all males, and beat all of them simultaneously. It was cool to watch her grow. But when she got to the finals and she was beating people and it was supposed to be this much more heart-pounding, stakes on the line thing, I kind of just fell off. It wasn't as interesting. It kind of felt like I knew she was going to win already. The other person didn't seem impressive. But overall, I had a lot of fun with it. I definitely think that if nothing else, my favorite part about it was what I already said. It was seeing a time frame where a female is portrayed as someone who shouldn't be allowed to do something. And then she was like, no, I'm going to do it. And I'm going to be better than literally everyone else. And every scene where she's doing chess against 6, 7, 8, 20 people at a time, it blows my mind to think, oh, this is based on a true story. There are people out there that can
Absolutely,
do this.
yeah. There's some crazy people.
So
Watching,
I struggle to figure out my next move in chess, much less 30 ahead of my
I struggled to figure out the move I just made.
Was that a legal move?
But yeah, like I've seen clips of like, two of the best, I forgot their name, but two of the best in the world chess players going at it. And it's just like, what the hell? What's happening?
There was a really cool one I saw. It was around the time that I watched Queen's Gambit and I Googled it, but it was a chess competition and it was best of 5 was the score, but they had 5 boards stacked on top of each other. And it was like clear chess. So they were playing all 5 boards at the
literally
same time.
Playing some 4D chess.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was intense. And
That's
they had to like hit the timer for each one.
That's crazy.
And it was just the first 3 boards that checkmated. So you could be doing great on the bottom 2 boards, but if you weren't paying attention at the top, you could still lose.
Yeah. Wow, that's awesome. All right. Going into the ultimate question. Here we go. Well, this is just perfect. This is a nice little bow on top.
Oh, good.
What is a lesson that you will take away from our conversation? And because this is our very first test recording, you can also just sort of go meta, go break the fourth wall on this one, and specifically include this recording as a takeaway.
Okay. I'm going to start with the lesson I learned from the game because I think that'll be easier to identify.
Sure.
I believe the biggest lesson I've learned from listening to you is, one, if I ever see an actor in the streets, I should just bomb rush him.
Yeah.
That way I have no regrets.
Yeah. Make sure you squeeze every moment out of that one.
Yeah, never going to happen.
No, I wouldn't either.
I think the only actor I would actively go out of my way to try and go talk to would be Jim Carrey. It's just because his movies had such a strong impact on me as a kid that it would be important to me to make that connection.
How long were the Oscars now? Because for me, before the Oscars, it would have been Will Smith. Because I grew up with a lot of Will Smith. But he's clearly a bit of an unhinged man.
Might still approach him.
A bit of a broken man. He I mean, I don't think that one incident completely changed, although it might have, because it might have ruined his career. But I get the Jim Carrey thing.
About you, I think one of the biggest lessons I learned was almost right from the get-go is that I don't think you view yourself in the light that everyone else views you as, which of course that makes sense because no one seems to ever look at themselves the way that they're portrayed. But I guess I didn't realize how little my perception of you connects to your perception of you.
Interesting. Yeah, that's fair enough.
In terms of this recording, I learned that the cat either needs to be in here or it needs to be in another house.
Yeah. I'm looking at my waveform and I got a lot of peaks.
Yeah.
There are some high points there. This will be an interesting one to sift through.
Yeah, the editing process is something that I'll definitely have a lot to say about once we actually get into it. I think that possibly creating more of a barrier between us in terms of specifically around the mics might be helpful.
Yeah.
But really, what I learned, despite I had a fear going into this that you or I were not going to be able to talk to each other the way we do. We weren't going to be able to just sit and talk the way we always do, branch off on random conversations. I was afraid we would get into this podcaster mentality where we have to be funny. We have to say things.
Yeah.
And while I think there are a couple of things looking back that we might have said just because, I think overall we're maintaining our voices pretty well.
I think I agree.
Yeah, I don't see an unusual spike in how we're talking, which is nice.
Yeah, it all felt a lot more natural than I thought it might be.
Yeah.
So yeah,